Welcome to the Headbangers Ball. We're spending the night with Megadeth in the studio and talking about the new record, and you might like even let us hear a little bit of it.
You heard some of it.
That was it. We've got the triple thrash threat on the way, and included is Prong, who have a new record coming out soon with remixes of some of their greatest hits. And of course, we're going to be playing some videos from Megadeth, including Peace Cells. But right now, I'm talking to Dave and Nick, and we're talking about the new album, which will be out sometime in July.
July 6th, tentatively.
And when we were talking to the other guys, we were talking about sort of the process of recording a record, because a lot of people hear the record and they hear bands talking about getting producers and stuff like that, but aren't sure exactly what a producer's job is. And when we left with Dave and Marty, they were telling us about the first thing you guys do, the riffs, and then the vocals, and then go in and do like each track separately, sort of, right?
Well,
that's a new one on me.
Actually, the first thing we do are the drums. So it's more painstaking for me because I get under the gun before anybody else does. And then we do the bass, guitars, vocals, mixing.
You always hear bands talk about their producer and saying, oh, we have this producer, we have that producer. What is the job, really, of a producer?
You're just a highly paid critic.
Play pinball, ping pong.
I played a lot of ping pong and pinball on this record. Max's job, on the other hand, you know, he came in and he pretty much became part of the band. What was that? And he just, you know, we kind of worked with stuff. You know, a lot of times producers will come in and they'll think all of a sudden, cool, now I get a jacket and I'm going to be able to bone some of your babes, you know, and the next thing you know, the guy's fired. I mean, how many records have we started with a different producer than the one we end with? Mm-hmm. This one, unless Max has an aneurysm, he's going to be completing the record probably the end of the month.
We're going to be talking about the new Megadeth record and future plans for Megadeth. And right now, let's play a video from Megadeth. Would you like to intro this?
This is Peace Cells, but who's buying?
Studio with Megadeth. And Dave, I guess you were about to play us a little bit of something.
Watch. See this finger? Watch. Watch. Here we go.
This is a premiere of
the
new Megadeth.
Here we go. Right over here.
Finger of death.
That's
I
it.
didn't get to hear some of the vocal thing.
Nope, not yet.
We're just starting to get into it. I mean, just a little bit of the vocal, maybe later.
Sure.
That song is called
This Was My Life.
This Was My Life.
Mm-hmm.
Very short, getting right to the point.
Not yours, not mine.
Dave's life.
It was Dave's life.
Dave's life.
Not necessarily mine, though. Mine, not mine.
My life.
This was my life.
We'll be talking to the guys in Megadeth as the Headbangers Ball continues, and hopefully hearing a little bit more of what the new Megadeth record is going to sound like, so stick around. It's Headbangers Ball. We're in the studio with Megadeth, and Dave is going to play us a little bit more of what we heard earlier. So if you're videotaping the show tonight, you might take that and add it to this and get like
nothing.
half of a Megadeth song before your friends have it. And you're going to play us a little part of this same song that you sort of played before, right?
Do you want to do it?
Which song is it? This Was My Life?
That was This Was My Life.
That was This
That was This
This Was My Life. Well, go right ahead.
It takes a while here. Listen right here. There's the bones in my head.
So what you played before was at the very beginning, and this was towards the very ending. Which so far, I've heard the whole song. I think that is real cool.
Right.
I like the stuff that I've heard, and definitely when the Megadeth record is out, you guys are all going to buy it. You're going to dig it. And right now it's time for the triple thrash threat. Here is a video from Prong, a band that gets classified in either industrial or different or whatever. They're Prong. They're on the way, And right now, here is a video from Megadeth. Headbangers Ball here back with, what's that?
Those are my rap signals.
Okay. Here with Dave and Nick from
Boing.
Megadeth.
What a geek.
And we were talking about the, he said it to you this time. We were talking about the new stuff from Megadeth, which you played just a very little bit. The release date is sometime in
1992.
July. And you're going to play us a little bit of another song, which would be Cyclotron.
What, Coltron?
Cyclotron.
No,
You see an L in there?
Psycho.
Yes, I
L
do.
for later, dude.
Doesn't that look like an
No,
L?
that's an H, as in ha!
Does that look like an L to you?
Psychotron.
Okay, Psychotron. I read him as I see him, ladies and gentlemen. But you'll play us a little bit of it?
Not after that.
Okay, so it goes something like this. Either my humming or you
What a
playing.
mallard.
I'm used to it. Pretty soon it doesn't even faze me.
I had to come up with something new.
Mallard?
Mallard.
That's a good one.
It used to be really bad.
What?
When we first came on the show,
Oh, I know that.
we used to like drill you mad and you just be like,
I know that.
that's not very cool.
People stop me. Why does Dave hate you so much? Like, who's Dave?
Here you go. This is new.
Yeah, I know, I didn't hear that. There you go. At least we got to hear a little bit more of that, and I like it, and I want to talk to you about that song, as well as others, and we will. But right now, let's take a look at a video from Megadeth. You can intro this one.
Enter.
And intro.
Oh,
Tell us the video we're going to play.
Hanger 18.
Very good. Here with Dave and Nick from Megadeth, and real quick, I want to mention just a couple titles of songs, and you might tell me a little bit about what the songs mean.
He'll tell you.
For instance, just so you know, my favorite song, which you show a lot of the Mustaine attitude in, is Sweating Bullets.
Hmm.
Would you agree with that? I mean,
That's your favorite? Yeah.
No, would you agree that there's definitely some attitude in that song?
Yeah, there's attitude. My favorite line is "Nice story. Tell it to Reader's Digest."
I know, I said it on MTV once, and I felt really bad, because if you saw it, I thought you were going to kill me, so I guess you did.
Well, because of your
It
plagiarism?
was months ago. I said it on the show one time, and I said, that was Dave's line, I just stole it from him.
I saw that.
Did you see that one? I was
saw
hoping he
that.
didn't see
But I
it.
didn't get you in any trouble.
Thank you very much. The song we heard, Psychotron, is written about...
A cyborg. Actually, it's about... I was watching some stupid news show when we were on tour, and they were talking about in Russia, the commies, or the ex-commies, they were sticking microchips in people's noses and in the base of their stem of their brain, and you can control them. The Lida machine, you know, you can make them be non-stop combatants, and they could wage war with no emotion, and they didn't need any food, and they would basically kill until their body died, whether it was through numerous bullets, which would be what it would take, or they just ran out of food because, you know, they could only run so long off their fat deposits. And the story is something similar like that, yet it has a tinge of the comic hero Deathlock in it. And, you know, the weird thing was I went out to Laughlin, which is the city out by the river, and I was in a grocery store with my family, and I saw something that said The Punisher, and it said Deathlock, and I went, oh, quack, this guy's a jerk. But, you know, the Punisher thing, so I read it, and I saw it, and I liked it, and I connected with it, and I was already writing the thing on the Lida machine, so it just made good sense.
What's a Lida machine?
It's the machine that they use to control the microchip
Oh, okay.
they stick in your nose. Maybe you should back up this tape, and you'll hear me say
No,
it
you
before.
said you were writing something on the Lida machine. I thought that was like
No,
some
no.
sort of... Okay.
Okay.
We're figuring it out. Should we skip to another song real quick?
Sure.
Tell me about any other songs.
Well, High Speed Dirt now is dedicated to our friends that died down at Paris Valley Skydiving Center. There's a line in there that was told to me. Actually, I experienced this line one time. I was coming in for a landing, and I was crosswind, and I got dragged across the grass really hard. I became a turf torpedo. I changed that to dirt torpedo, and I'm sure there's a couple people with some sexual fetishes that will think that that's a connotation towards being a bike rack or something. But what are you smiling for?
I just think that's a funny way to put it.
Dirt torpedo?
Sure. we're going to talk about some other stuff, and I even actually want to ask some personal stuff, so I know you're going to want to stick around as the Headbangers Ball continues. It's a Headbangers Ball, and we're here with Dave and Nick from Megadeth.
How come you never said Nick and Dave?
Nick and Dave from the band Megadeth. And I'd like to ask you a couple questions, a little bit different from the record. Congratulations, you have a son now.
Yeah,
and
thanks.
That's changed your life quite a bit, hasn't it?
Yeah, kind of.
I mean, in what way? Would you say that you're more mature? Have you do you look things in a different way? I mean, I talked to you when you just became a father and you were really excited.
Yeah, well, that was before I had to deal with some young male sucking on my wife's bosom every day. Kind of makes me jealous. But yeah, it's cool. I wouldn't recommend having a baby to anybody that didn't have the patience or the fortitude or the finances to do it. You know, because it's pretty overwhelming. Believe me, now I know why so many people are such lousy parents, because it takes a lot to really to be there patiently and care, and a lot of people will give up, and it's just all in your brain. I feel I finally identify with why this generation of all of us and the kids are a little bit younger than us and stuff like that, why we got so over by our parents, because they just gave up on us, and I'm going to make sure that I make amends to myself by being a good father for what happened to me. It's really weird, because you get to look at being a parent and you see a lot of the things that how it can in retrospect develop into being a dysfunctional relationship. It's tough being a parent, and I'm only 10 weeks into it.
Right.
The best thing about it is the little geezer hasn't whizzed on me yet. He's nailed everybody else in the family, man. You take off the diaper, I put one over there and I hide.
Now changing the subject back onto this Megadeth, you plan on touring pretty soon, as soon as this record is out there?
Yeah, we got some stuff in the works right now. We'll probably look for a late July, early August to kick off our big tour. We'll probably do some scattered gigs, before then. We're supposed to go to New York and do something, and maybe to Europe to do some festival shows, but it's all subject to change,
Well, thanks again for taking the time to talk to us and kind of let us in on how you make the records and what the stuff's about, and giving us a very small preview of the new Megadeth. It'll be out in your stores July. I've heard some of it, and it's the
you
best
like it?
Megadeth
I
I've
heard the whole thing.
I
You
heard
had the
most
demo
of it.
tape.
I'm trying to just weasel a tape out of them. That's the honest truth. Thanks again for stopping by.
Weasel's the
For letting
word.
us stop by. That's the other guy. We'll be back, and thanks again with Megadeth.
What other guy?
That was Blind Melon. Little interesting how Blind Melon actually fits with here of us on top of the Capitol Records building. This is where Blind Melon signed their record contract with Capitol, right here on top of this building. Looking at it this view, you always hear Duff say so much stuff about the East Coast. This is where it's at, the West Coast. I want to thank Megadeth for spending the time to hang out with us all night and play a very little bit of their new album. I've heard it. It's great. It's going to be out in July. It's called Countdown to Extinction, and it smokes. Speaking of smoking records, I'm sure you've heard part of the new Kiss by now, and you've seen the video on Holy on Headbangers Ball. Kiss's new stuff kicks. And we're going to be hanging with Kiss next Saturday night at the Troubadour in Los Angeles. They're playing some club shows. We're going to hang out with Kiss, play some new Kiss, some classic Kiss. It'll be cool. I'm Ricky Rackman. I'll see you next Saturday night. Remember to keep one foot in the gutter, one fist in the goal. Good night.